This Woody Woods. This just in. So they actually named a person of interest in the Nashville bombing that happened on Christmas. His name is Anthony Quinn Warner. He is a 63-year-old man from Tennessee. I could not find any pictures of him, but from what I hear, he is a white man from Tennessee, 63 years old. People called the police twice on him before the bombing, saying that he was up to shit. So this is his RV on the left. They pulled this from Google Maps. This is the RV in his driveway. It disappeared 2 days ago, and now this RV is the one that blew up. They're saying it's the same make and model, same RV, they think, but they cannot confirm yet. But he has been missing for 2 days, and so is the RV. And there's human remains at the site. So it is 99% him. So the story is Anthony Quinn Warner is a 63-year-old Tennessee man who has been named as a person of interest accused in the explosion of a parked RV in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning. According to CBS News, a RV similar to the one used in the Nashville bombing was parked at Warner's home address in images available on Google Maps and Google Earth, Heavy has discovered. Jeff Hughes, a CBS News journalist, wrote on Twitter that CBS News has learned the name of a person of interest tied to the explosion that rocked Nashville on Christmas Day. Multiple sources tell us that Anthony Quinn Warner, a Nashville area resident, had a similar make and model RV. Authorities have not yet confirmed the identity, though. And this is Jeff Hughes' tweet when he put it out at 1:45 p.m. And Heavy reached a neighbor of Warner's. She confirmed that the FBI and ATF were at Warner's longtime house along Barktown Road in Anchorage, Tennessee, which is a Nashville neighborhood. He transferred the home to a Los Angeles woman a month before the blast, however. Yeah, so that's another thing that happened. Supposedly a month before the incident happened, he transferred the deed to his house and other things to this woman who has not been named yet. So it looks like he was planning on, dying or something like that. The neighbor didn't want her name printed, but she said he lived here a long time. He was very quiet and kept to himself. In fact, even though she lived near him for 25 years, she never even knew his last name. She described Warner as a white male with a slight build. She said he stood about 5'5" tall and had grayish hair, kind of long. She noticed that the RV had been parked in his yard, was moved a couple days ago, and is not there now. She said Warner lived at the home since 1995. The home is asset for $89,000. That's a pretty good price on a home, bruh. You can't find a house here for $89,000, even in the worst neighborhoods in New York. All right, that's a little off subject. Back to the subject at hand. No arrests have been made. It is not clear whether Warner is dead or alive, although it seems he is dead. Although authorities said previously that they are analyzing tissue recovered in the blast zone. They are trying to confirm whether the remains are human or not. I'm sure they're human, bro. Catherine Henneridge, a reporter with CBS News, is reporting that authorities' leading theory is that the suspect was killed in the Nashville explosion. DNA tests on remains found at the scene are being conducted to determine if they belong to the suspect or if someone else. Plus, federal agents are still searching the home of Warner as we speak. The bizarre bombing puzzled many as the motive because the bomber painstakingly tried to get people to evacuate by playing a recorded message of a woman telling people to leave. See, that's the thing. The target was the AT&T place. So this has like a Ted Kaczynski type feel. He didn't want to hurt civilians, but he wanted to send a message to them. And I'm not saying, obviously, don't do that. You listen to me. If you're listening to me, do not do that shit. All right? Because that hurts everybody. That hurts your cause. That hurts literal humans. You know what I mean? Like these people that live on this street, lives are destroyed now. You know what I mean? The people that witnessed this, that lived through this, that were there, have to deal with this every day. This is like deep trauma. You know what I mean? And I was thinking for AT&T is a piece of shit, you know? And I'm sure some shady shit was going down in that building. It had government it's blurred out on Google Maps, I heard. It's blurred out on Google Maps because that's an NSA site. So, like, I understand, like, there's more to this. There's way more to this, and we'll never know what it's about. This has, like, a Vegas shooting. You know that Vegas paddock? This has a paddock-type feel, where something big happened, and they're not going to tell us shit, all right? More to the story, all right? So authorities said the recording was interpreted with music and included a countdown. However, the bombing also disabled a major communication network because it occurred near significant AT&T facility. CNN reported that it knocked out much of the region's wireless service. Now, there have been theories put out that this was a foreign actor. Like, they paid this person to test our infrastructure and communication structures and see what this would do for future. And regardless if it was or not, it is being used by our enemies. Like, oh, look, what happened when this happened, how long it's down. The saying is, don't let a crisis go to waste. But they could have made the crisis themselves. Like, it's all theories and, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I would push to it. If I had to bet, yeah, something like that is going down. But again, this is, we're just talking here. All right, authorities told CNN the explosion was likely a suicide bombing. Or, I thought that maybe it was a mistake that at least that it went off at that moment because he was telling people to leave. And I heard on other places that they think that he actually was trying to lure people to the location, trying to get him out of the building. But I think that no. I think that more or less he was probably trying to get them away, and maybe he was trying to lure cops there. Because if you're a civilian and you hear that, why would you go towards the vehicle? There's no reason for you to do so. So yes, maybe he was trying to lure cops to it. I feel that maybe it detonated prematurely and that's how he died. Maybe. Again, these are just hypotheses. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I'm just shooting the shit with you guys. Because it's Saturday night, Christmas week, and just making this late night video. You know what I mean? Oh, I have you here. Like and subscribe. Please subscribe. I want to get some subscribers. All right, so I'll keep going now. Although authorities were hesitant to give a suspect's name in their December 26th press conference, videos and photos show they had coverage on Warner's former home. Here's live video from the search of Warner's home in Anchorage. We'll hit play on this video. Unless, of course, it shows a... Jesus Christ. This video is 2 hours long. Alright, this video is 2 hours long. I thought it was just some quick, news clip. Yeah. So... in the December 20 press conference, authorities declined to confirm to CBS News the name of the person. They said they had over 500 investigative leads and are looking into multiple individuals. At this point, we're not prepared to identify any single individual. Authorities said they do not know if there was more than one person involved in the bombing, or they don't believe there are any active threats. Let me reiterate, they're quoted as saying, that Nashville is safe. We feel and know that we have no known threats at this time, Metro Police Chief John Drake said. Here's a Google Map image of the parked RV outside of his address. That's the RV right there. And then here's how it looks on Google Earth. Here's the lone image of the RV used in the blast that was released by the Metropolitan Police. That's the tweet right there. It says the downtown Nashville blast damaged a large section of 2nd Avenue early on Christmas morning. 3 people injured, but not seriously. At least 41 buildings were damaged in the historic neighborhood, the mayor said in an early morning press conference. MNPD and the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and ATF are investigating the 6:30 a.m. explosion on 2nd Avenue North linked to a vehicle. This appears to have been an intentional act. Law enforcement is closing downtown streets as the investigation continues, the police wrote on their Facebook page. WKRN-TV reported in a live broadcast that a message was playing from the RV before the blast. The video below captures a message urging people to evacuate. The police chief said in a news conference that the RVs recorded, including a countdown that started at 15 minutes, urging people to evacuate and telling them how much time they had to do so. You can hear this message, evacuate now. This area must be evacuated now. A woman's voice is heard saying in a monotone voice. The fact that the bomber urged people to evacuate, coupled with the lack of casualties, is a very unusual for this kind of attack. The infrastructure got knocked out, so maybe that was the goal. Like, maybe it's not, like... So, one Facebook quote claimed that the RV was broadcasting a message that it contained a bomb and that it was limited time. That went on for 20 minutes or so, and then the message changed to a countdown. It said at 15 minutes to evacuate. Here's what you need to know. The neighbors say Warner worked on computers. The neighbor told Heavy that Warner told her once that he worked for himself in computers, and that was a long time ago. She also said she believed he was self-employed and in IT. She wasn't sure for whom. The neighbor said Warner had no family, no wife or kids that she knew of. She said he was very good with animals that he had. She said he had little dogs and that they got older. He built them ramps so they wouldn't have to climb. Online records show that Anthony Warner's name is linked to a company called Custom Alarms Electronics, but it doesn't come up in that corporation records. Allbiz.com says that the company Custom Alert Electronics is located in Nashville and was founded in 2000. The business is working in the following industry: electrician installation. Annual sales of customer alarm electronics is around $70,000 a year. It lists Warner's name as the principal and the Barktown Road address. So he does security alarms for a living. The neighbors said that Warner would wave and say hi, but generally kept to himself. She said she was shocked to see the ATF at his house. It's a little quiet neighborhood street. As for the RV, she said he would park it in his backyard and then move it. A couple of days ago, I noticed it was moved. Warner doesn't come up as a registered voter in Tennessee. The damage to the communication infrastructure was very significant. Due to the proximity of the blast to the AT&T building, AT&T wrote in a December 26 statement basically saying that the fact that Warner worked in electronics and computer raised questions about the proximity to the AT&T facility. So they think he might have gotten his job, did all this for this. On Christmas Day, he wrote, "Power is essential." AT&T wrote, "Power is essential to restoring wireless and wireless communications, and we are working with law enforcement to get access to our equipment and make the needed repairs. Given the damage to our facility, it would take time to restore service. We have already rerouted significant traffic from this facility and are bringing in other equipment, including numerous portable cell sites, to the area." Natalie Nessa Alud, a breaking news reporter from USA Today, wrote in a Twitter, although the person of interest has been identified, and FBI spokesman at the scene said it was no proof that it was actually physically him. And then it goes on. We got, this is a Facebook quote, the fellow in Nashville collaborates the video, and they are conflicting stories on where the voice was actually coming from. I'm just going to read a quiet, calm deed says that Anthony Quinn Warner recently gave his house to a Los Angeles woman for $0, which is shady. They say online records say that Anthony first showed up at the property, the address of the RV in the 80s, and through 2020. He has relatives to ties to the New York State area. An obituary appears to be his father says that Tony Warner wasn't married but had a brother and a sister. The Orber said the dad was from Nashville and died there. A quiet claim deed available through Division County records shows that on November 25th, 2020, Warner for unclear reasons, gave the property in Anchorage to his unmarried Los Angeles woman named Michelle Swing for $0. The deed confirms that Warner was unmarried. Swing has ties to Tennessee and is 29 years old, according to her Facebook page, which is now deleted. The home's tax record. Nashville Mayor John Cooper previously called the bombing a one-off event. As for the explosion, we got great people working on it, and we'll get to the bottom of it, he says. It seems intentional, but I think it's just a one-off event, and people should not be concerned. But in a year that has been everything but normal, let's add an explosion to it. Stop trying to make jokes, dude. This is the second one you've been making. Anthony Warner has an old arrest history dating back to the 70s. His arrest records are for... Can we see? I don't see disposition, incarceration. I don't see an actual history fellow controlled something. So he was a drug addict. Maybe he got clean and then got a little crazy. Because that happens, man. Because you see what they did to you. You know what I mean? Especially if like a doctor got him hooked on drugs. I can so see him having some anger. I mean, I'm angry. I see him what dogs did to my community. But, bro, not that angry. You got to relax, kid. Anthony Warner, of the same age as a man named in CBS, has an arrest history for felony controlled substance. You can see that arrest record here. Conviction dates to the late 70s through on. A dramatic video showing the damage of the explosion. I played those videos in my last video. Check them out. This video is getting a little long, so I'm just going to go through these. The FBI received 2 prior tips about Warner before the bombings. I told you that. People called in and said that. And police responded to shots fired before the blast. Now, this is shady. An FBI spokesperson to local officials, they were searching a home in Anchorage. Journalists wrote, FBI Public Affairs Darren DeBoos said information developed during the course of the investigation led law enforcement to this home on Barkertown Road. One curious aspect of the bombing, police initially were called to the area for a report of shots fired. Witnesses have also told Nashville that they heard gunfire. I saw a news clip of someone from that area right after it happened. He said he knows guns, and he heard specifically 6 gunshots. Then it stopped. He got scared. Talked to his girlfriend, and then he heard like 5 more shots, and then time lasted, and then the bomb went off. So people heard gunshots. Whether it happened, I believe they said they heard it. Why would they make it up? But also, eyewitness they claim is one of the weakest forms of evidence. But whatever, this was said. Can't do it. 6 police officers were named as heroes for beginning to evacuate the residents in the area. And you know what they were. Good for them. Good for them. And that's all the things they need to know about him. I'll post more videos and any updates. And especially when I find this dude's face, I need to put it on blast. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I want subscribers, bro. I didn't do a lot of edits in this video because it's the weekend. I wasn't planning on making a video, but I wanted to get this video out to give you guys the information and let you guys know what's the deal. Give you an update. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Like and subscribe. And remember, let's fucking go!